Hey, incredible women. Buckle up for a transformative journey today. I've been working hard on myself, and guess what? Self-improvement truly works. I've polished my speaking skills, and some folks say I sound a bit like a Hollywood star. Pretty fun, right? But here's the real magic. Self-improvement isn't just about my voice. It's about mastering how we connect with others. Let's dive into a strategy that'll level up your interaction game. Hello, amazing women. Welcome to today's webinar on mastering life's interactions with resilience, using a powerful tool called the White Christ strategy. As your life coach, I'm thrilled to share this game theory-inspired approach to help you navigate relationships when people change, for better or worse. I'll walk you through how to use it in daily life, keep it simple and manageable, and share my thoughts on why it's so valuable. Let's dive in. Imagine life as a series of interactions, like a game where people can be supportive or draining, reliable or flaky. The White Christ strategy gives you a clear way to stay resilient, build trust, and protect your energy. It's not about complex math or overthinking. It's about making smart, intentional choices in your relationships. So, what is the White Christ strategy? At its core, it's about starting with trust, observing how people act, and adjusting based on their recent behavior. You begin by being kind and open to build rapport. Then, you pay attention to how someone treats you, focusing more on what they've done lately. If their negative actions, like disrespect or unreliability, pile up too much, you set boundaries. If they're mostly positive, you keep the trust flowing. It's a balance of optimism and self-protection. Let's break it down into practical steps you can use every day, whether at work, with friends, or in family dynamics. First, lead with trust. When you meet someone new or a relationship shifts, start with kindness and openness. Assume they mean well to set a positive tone. For example, if you start a new job, you might share ideas and support your team for the first few weeks. Decide how long you'll do this, maybe 2 to 4 weeks, or a few key moments. This trust-building phase invites people to meet you halfway, but it's not forever, so you're not left vulnerable. Next, observe how people act, especially their recent behavior. Think of the last 2 or 3 interactions you had with someone. Were they positive, like a friend who listened when you needed it, or negative, like a coworker who dismissed your ideas? Don't overcomplicate it. Just notice the vibe. You can keep a mental note or jot it down, positive, neutral, or negative. The key is to focus on what's happening now, not dwell on old stuff unless it was a big deal, like a major betrayal. This helps you stay responsive to changes, like a friend who's suddenly distant or a colleague who's stepped up. Then, decide when to set boundaries. If someone's negative actions start to outweigh the good, say 2 out of their last 3 interactions felt off, it's time to protect your energy. This might mean pulling back, like sharing less with a flaky friend, or speaking up, like addressing a coworker's behavior. You get to choose what too much negativity looks like for you. If their behavior improves, you can open up again. It's all about staying flexible without being a doormat. Finally, tweak the strategy to fit your life. In high-stakes situations like a business deal, you might trust for a shorter time and be quicker to set boundaries. In close friendships, you might give more leeway and forgive a few slip-ups. If you're someone who trusts too easily, focus even more on recent actions to avoid being taken advantage of. If you're super cautious, give people a bit more time to show their good side. You can even keep a simple notebook to track key relationships and how you'll respond. Now, what do I think of the White Christ strategy? I love it, and here's why. It's practical and empowering. It gives you a clear plan to navigate relationships, which is huge for building resilience. It's adaptable, letting you pivot when people change without holding grudges or being naive. It's especially great for women who are often taught to put others first. This strategy says it's okay to protect your energy, and that's a game changer. Is it perfect? Not quite. Real life is messier than a game. Someone's snappy comment might just be a bad day, not a betrayal, so you'll need to read the context. And if you overanalyze every interaction, it can feel a bit cold or exhausting. My advice, use it as a guide, not a strict rule. Simplify it to fit your life, like focusing on the last few interactions and trusting your gut. Is it useful? Absolutely. It's perfect for professional settings, like dealing with office politics, or new relationships, like dating or making friends. If you've been hurt before and want to trust again without being naive, this is your tool. Is it simple? Mostly. The idea, trust first, watch recent actions, protect yourself if needed, is super intuitive. It just takes a little practice to make it second nature. Here's my verdict. The White Christ strategy is a resilient woman's secret weapon. It blends optimism, adaptability, and self-care in a way that feels empowering. With a bit of tweaking to keep it real and emotional, it's a fantastic way to master life's ups and downs. Let's wrap up with a couple of questions you might have. How do you avoid feeling cynical? Focus on the trust phase and see boundaries as self-care, not punishment. It's about your peace, not judging others. What if someone's behavior is all over the place? That's where this strategy shines. It helps you respond to their current actions while keeping their past in perspective. Ladies, you've got this. The White Christ strategy is your roadmap to navigate relationships with grace and strength. Try it this week. Pick one person, notice their recent actions, and decide how you'll respond. Share your wins with our community. I can't wait to hear about them. Thank you for joining me today. Here's to mastering life with resilience. Hey Radiant Souls, welcome to today's session. We're talking about something that can truly transform how you move through life, especially when people around you change suddenly for better or worse. I'm here as your life coach, and today I want to share something really special with you. It's called the White Christ strategy. Now, before you get worried, no, you don't need to be a mathematician. This is inspired by game theory, sure, but we're not talking about complex equations. We're talking about real-life tools for real-life people, especially for women who are ready to step into their power with clarity and grace. Here's the heart of it. Imagine someone comes into your life. Maybe they're kind at first, maybe they show promise. The White Christ strategy says, start with trust. Start by giving. That's your strength. You open the door. You give people the chance to show up. That's what makes you powerful, not naive. But here's the genius part. You don't stay in that open place forever. You watch, you feel, you notice. Not what someone did 6 months ago, not what they said in a birthday card, but how they've been showing up lately. Think of your recent experience with them. How did it feel the last 2-3 times? Were they showing care? Were they meeting you halfway? Or did you feel dismissed, overlooked, hurt? The White Christ strategy helps you tune into those recent signals and gives them a little more weight. Why? Because people change. Circumstances shift. Someone who used to be loving might drift. Someone who used to be cold might start showing up for you, and you deserve to respond to the now, not to old memories or old hurts. If someone's recent actions feel off more than half the time, it's okay to protect your energy. That doesn't mean cutting them off dramatically. It can be quiet, calm. You step back. You share less. You test again. You give them room to show you who they are today. And if they're showing up with love and respect, beautiful. You keep the connection going. It's that simple. This isn't about being harsh. It's about being fair to yourself. It's not about judging people for making mistakes. It's about noticing patterns. You're not keeping score. You're checking the temperature. You're tuning in. You're adjusting your sails. Here's how to bring it into daily life. Lead with kindness. Offer connection. Then pay attention to the recent vibe. Don't overthink it. Just feel it. And when it's time to respond, trust your judgment. Maybe you lean in. Maybe you pull back. Maybe you wait and watch. All of that is valid. And yes, you get to change your mind. That's part of being alive. You're not a robot. You're a woman with wisdom, emotions, and strength. The White Christ strategy doesn't replace your intuition. It sharpens it. It gives you a framework to honor what's real right now. I think this strategy is brilliant. Not because it's perfect, but because it's empowering. It helps you show up with an open heart and clear eyes. It helps you forgive, but not forget who you are. It helps you build resilience without building walls. And let me tell you, that's the sweet spot. This world needs more of us leading with empathy and wisdom. Not reacting to every little change, but adjusting with love, awareness, and strength. So give it a try. Start today. Pick one person in your life. Reflect on how their last few interactions felt. Then decide, do I stay open? Do I gently step back? Do I speak up? Let this strategy guide you without hardening you. And remember, you are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to grow, and you are allowed to ask others to rise with you or release them if they don't. You've got this. Keep trusting, keep noticing, keep adjusting. The White Christ strategy is more than a method, it's a mindset. Thank you for being here. Keep shining. Hey, incredible women. I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's webinar. As your life coach, my passion is helping you build resilience, master life, and successfully handle interactions, especially when people around you suddenly change, for better or worse. Today, I'm super excited to share a brilliant method with you called the White Christ strategy. It's based on game theory, but don't worry, this isn't complicated math. It's practical wisdom that you can easily use every single day. Imagine your life as a series of interactions, where each relationship influences your happiness, peace, and success. Sometimes people around us are incredibly supportive, lifting us higher. Other times they can be draining, unpredictable, or even disappointing. How can we manage these dynamics effectively without feeling overwhelmed or taken advantage of? That's exactly what the White Christ strategy helps us achieve. So, what's this strategy all about? At its heart, the White Christ strategy is simple. You start every new interaction from a place of openness and trust. Initially, you give people the benefit of the doubt and show kindness to build genuine connections. But you don't do this blindly or indefinitely. You keep an eye on how they behave, paying special attention to their recent actions. If someone begins consistently acting negatively or disrespectfully, you adjust your boundaries to protect yourself. If they're generally positive and supportive, you keep nurturing that relationship. Let's dive into exactly how you can use this in everyday life. First, always begin by offering trust. When you meet someone new, a colleague, friend, or potential partner, lead with kindness and openness. For instance, when starting a new job, go in ready to collaborate openly with your team. Decide on a time frame, a few days or weeks, to consistently offer that initial trust. This step sets the stage for healthy interactions by creating an inviting space for mutual respect and trust. Second, pay attention closely, but simply, to recent behavior. Forget complicated analyses or dwelling on the past. Just observe the last 2 or 3 interactions you've had. Were they positive experiences, like encouragement or genuine support? Or were they negative, maybe dismissive comments or broken promises? Keep it simple. Focus on what's happening now, because recent actions usually give the most accurate picture of where someone's at emotionally and relationally. Third, know when to set boundaries. If negative behaviors start outweighing positive ones, let's say 2 out of the last 3 encounters felt uncomfortable or disrespectful, it's time to gently but firmly protect yourself. Maybe you'll step back, communicate your feelings, or change your expectations slightly. And remember, these boundaries aren't permanent punishments, they're flexible responses designed to preserve your emotional health. If someone's actions improve again, your openness returns, maintaining balance in your relationship. Finally, adapt the strategy to fit your unique life. Different relationships demand different approaches. At work, you might set boundaries quicker if professionalism suffers. In friendships or family relationships, you might give more space for mistakes. If you naturally trust too easily, pay even closer attention to recent behaviors to avoid being taken advantage of. If you're naturally cautious, allow a bit more time before pulling back. Now, here's what I personally think about the White Christ strategy. Honestly, I love it, and here's why. It's practical and truly empowering. It offers clear steps that build resilience in handling people who change unpredictably. It beautifully balances optimism with self-care, which is especially powerful for us women, who often put others' needs first. This method gives you permission, in an elegant way, to safeguard your emotional energy without feeling guilty or cynical. Is it perfect? Of course not. Real-life interactions are nuanced. Sometimes someone's negative behavior is just a bad day, not a red flag. That's where your intuition comes in. Use the White Christ strategy as a helpful guide, not rigid rules. Keep it simple and intuitive, trusting your instincts along the way. Is it useful? Absolutely. This strategy shines in professional settings, perfect for managing tricky workplace dynamics. It's wonderful for dating or building new friendships, helping you stay open yet protected. And if you've been burned before, it empowers you to rebuild trust without being naive. Is it easy? Definitely. The beauty lies in its simplicity. Start open, pay attention to recent actions, set boundaries when needed. With a bit of practice, it becomes second nature. My final verdict? The White Christ strategy is a fantastic tool. It's intuitive, empowering, and deeply respectful of your emotional well-being. With just a little tweaking to fit your personal style, it's exactly the resilient woman's roadmap you need. Before we wrap up, let me quickly address two common concerns. How do you prevent becoming overly skeptical? Keep the initial trust phase front and center, and remember, boundaries aren't punishments, they're acts of self-care. What if someone's behavior fluctuates wildly? That's where this strategy truly excels. It helps you respond calmly and flexibly to what's actually happening right now, rather than getting stuck in assumptions or past grievances. Ladies, give it a try this week. Choose one relationship, observe the recent interactions, and thoughtfully apply the White Christ strategy. Notice how empowered you feel as you balance trust with healthy boundaries. I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. Thank you for joining me today. Here's to mastering life with resilience, wisdom, and a whole lot of grace. Hello, radiant women. Take a deep breath, roll your shoulders back, and feel your strength settle in. Today we get to talk about a practical tool that will keep that strength shining, even when the people around you flip the script. It is called the White Christ strategy, and it comes straight from game theory research, but I promise we are leaving the heavy math at the door. Think of it as a recipe for balanced, caring boundaries. I will walk you through how it works, how to weave it into daily life, and why I believe it is a powerful ally for any resilient woman. Picture your relationships as an ongoing dance. Sometimes your partner waltzes in perfect harmony. Sometimes they stomp on your foot. The White Christ strategy begins by leading with trust. You open the dance with kindness and generosity for a short, chosen season. Maybe that is the first 2 coffee dates with a new friend, or the first month on a fresh project team. During this grace period, you give freely, you cooperate, you share ideas. You are showing the other person the rhythm you hope to keep. After that opening, you switch from pure generosity to mindful observation. From this point on, you focus mostly on the last couple of steps in the dance, the most recent 1 or 2 interactions. Why the recent moves? Because people change. Old grudges can trap us, and old favors can blind us. So we keep our eyes on the present. Ask yourself after each encounter, did this person's last move feel supportive or did it drain me? Keep a gentle mental tally. No spreadsheets required. If you notice that roughly 2 out of 5 recent moments felt disrespectful or unreliable, that is your cue. The strategy calls this the 40% line. Cross that line and you shift your stance from cooperation to protection. Maybe you shorten the conversation. Maybe you stop volunteering extra time. Maybe you speak up firmly and name what hurts. The goal is not to punish. The goal is to guard your peace and invite healthier behavior. Here is the beauty. The door never slams shut. Because you are always watching the most recent steps, a partner who starts showing up with kindness again quickly earns back your cooperation. No grudges, just fresh data, fresh decisions. Think of it as a living feedback loop. Trust first, watch recent actions, adjust, repeat. Let us ground this in real life. Suppose your colleague Sarah has been upbeat for weeks, then suddenly skips 2 deadlines and brushes off your questions. Your internal meter now reads 2 negatives out of the last 3 encounters, above the 40% line. You decide to protect your space. You might limit after-hours help and send clear reminders in writing. If Sarah meets her next deadlines and communicates openly, great, your meter swings back and you step forward with trust again. Or imagine you are dating Pat. At first, Pat texts every morning, plans thoughtful outings, and you feel valued. Recently, Pat canceled twice at the last minute and replied with 1-word answers. Your meter rises. You gently address it. I notice plans keep falling through and I miss our deeper chats. Are you okay? If Pat's next two moves show care, you relax. If not, you protect your heart and step back. Now, what do I think of this strategy? I love its elegance. It honors the best in people by offering an initial hand of trust. It also honors you by creating a clear boundary when behavior turns sour. It is simple enough to remember under stress: trust, observe, decide. It is flexible. You choose how long the opening trust window lasts, and you choose how many shaky moments are too many. It is forgiving because the past is not a life sentence, and it is empowering because it keeps the decision in your hands rather than in someone else's mood swings. Is it perfect? Of course not. Human lives are messier than tidy formulas. Someone may have a terrible day that spikes your meter even though their heart is golden. Context matters. That is why you add your intuition to the mix. The strategy is a compass, not a cage. When in doubt, breathe, recall the bigger picture, and adjust with compassion. Is it useful? Absolutely. In workplaces, it prevents simmering resentment and lopsided workloads. In friendships, it helps you discern who is safe to lean on and who is simply not ready. In romance, it keeps you open to love while shielding you from repeated heartbreak. For women taught to stretch endlessly for others, it grants permission to measure and protect your own well-being. Is it simple? Yes, once you practice. Keep the numbers tiny, notice the last 2 or 3 exchanges, feel the tone, and act. No spreadsheet, no PhD, just awareness and choice. Let us close with a challenge. Pick one relationship this week, professional, personal, or family. Give it a short trust window if it is new, or jump straight to observation if it is established. Watch the next 2 encounters. How do they feel in your body? If warmth outweighs hurt, lean in with kindness. If hurt edges past that 40% mark, set one clear boundary. Then watch again. That is the whole difference. Remember, boundaries are love in action. Love for yourself first, love for the relationship second. The White Christ strategy simply teaches your feet when to glide and when to step back, so you do not lose your balance. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. I believe in your wisdom, I honor your resilience, and I cannot wait to hear how you use this strategy to shine even brighter. Keep dancing, beautiful souls, and keep choosing the steps that serve your peace. Hey, incredible women. Welcome to our journey of resilience and intentional living. I'm so glad you're here, and I can't wait to share a simple yet powerful approach to help you navigate relationships when people change. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Today I want to introduce you to what I call the White Christ strategy. Think of it as a roadmap for building trust, protecting your energy, and staying adaptable. No complicated math, no overthinking, just a clear way to respond to how people treat you. First, we start with trust. When you meet someone new or a relationship shifts, give them the benefit of the doubt. Lead with kindness, open your heart, and show your best self. Decide how long you'll extend this initial trust, maybe a couple of meaningful conversations or the first few weeks of a new job or friendship. This phase sets a positive tone and invites people to meet you halfway without leaving you feeling exposed forever. Next, pay attention to how they behave, especially in the most recent interactions. Notice the vibe of your last 2 or 3 encounters. Was someone genuinely supportive when you needed encouragement, or did they brush off your ideas, cancel plans, or act distant? Keep it simple, just notice. You don't need to journal every detail. A quick mental check-in is enough. When the balance of positive moments starts tipping toward negative ones, say 2 out of 3 interactions felt off, that's your cue to set a boundary. It might mean sharing a bit less about your dreams with a friend who's become flaky, or gently calling out a coworker who's been dismissive. Boundaries aren't walls, they're invitations for people to show up better. And if they do, you can open up again. The beauty of this strategy is that it's flexible. In a high-stakes business deal, you might shorten your trust window and watch more closely. With close friends, you might allow a few more slip-ups and lean on your gut to know when to nudge them back on track. You're in control of what too much looks like. So, what do I think of the White Christ strategy? I love it. It's empowering because it gives you a clear plan for relationships instead of leaving you second-guessing every interaction. It blends optimism. You start upbeat with self-protection. You don't get burned. It helps you bounce back when someone changes without feeling resentful or paranoid. Is it perfect? Life will always be messier than a game, and real people have bad days. So use context. A single negative comment doesn't cancel someone's good heart. Trust your instincts. Use this approach as a guide, not a rule book. Is it useful? Absolutely. Whether you're navigating office politics, dating, or deepening friendships, this strategy gives you a simple way to balance openness and self-care. You'll find yourself trusting more wisely, responding to people's true colors, and staying resilient when things shift. Try it this week. Pick one relationship you want to improve. Lead with trust at first. Then notice the last 2 or 3 interactions. If the negative moments start to stack up, decide how you'll protect your energy. If the good moments come back, lean in again. You've got this. The White Christ strategy is your secret weapon for mastering life's ups and downs with grace and strength. Thank you for joining me today, and here's to building trusting, empowering relationships every day. Hello, incredible women. I'm so glad you're here today to explore a simple tool that can change the way you navigate relationships when people shift, whether for better or for worse. I call this tool the White Christ strategy, and it's all about leading with trust, noticing what's happening now, and protecting your energy when you need to. No heavy math, no overthinking, just clear steps you can use in daily life. First, start with kindness. When you meet someone new or when a relationship takes a turn, give a little grace. That might mean 2 friendly conversations at work, or a few caring messages with a friend, or even one open heart when you first feel distance. This initial phase invites goodwill and builds trust without leaving you exposed forever. Next, pay attention to what happens in your most recent interactions. Think about the last 2 or 3 times you spoke, met up, or exchanged messages. Did they show up when they said they would? Did they cheer you on or leave you hanging? Notice the pattern without judgment. Just observe. When you see more negative moments than positive in those last few interactions, maybe 2 out of 3 felt off, it's time to set a boundary. That could be as simple as sharing a little less, speaking up about how you feel, or slowing down the pace of your connection. You decide what protects your energy. If things improve afterward, you can open up again. Keep it flexible. The point isn't to punish someone for every misstep, but to stay responsive to how they treat you now. You can adjust this strategy for any relationship. In a high-stakes business deal, you might trust for just 1 meeting before watching closely. With a close friend, you might let a couple of slip-ups slide before stepping back. If you tend to trust too quickly, focus extra on those last few moments so you don't get blindsided. If you're naturally cautious, give people a bit more time to show their good side. What I love about the White Christ strategy is how empowering it feels. It helps you build resilience by blending optimism with self-care. You stay open to connection while making it clear that your boundaries matter. It's a gentle way to guard your energy and invite people to treat you with respect. At the same time, remember to watch the bigger picture. A cranky comment might mean they're having a bad day, not that they don't value you. Use this strategy as a guide, not a strict rulebook. Trust your intuition, keep things human, and don't let the method overshadow genuine connection. This week, pick one relationship to try it out. Notice the next 2 or 3 interactions. Decide in advance how many positive moments you need before you keep trusting. If you need to set a boundary, practice saying it calmly and kindly. See how it feels to blend openness with protection. The White Christ strategy is your roadmap to stay strong, hopeful, and clear-headed when relationships change. It's simple, intuitive, and rooted in real life, not complex equations. I believe in you, and I know you can master this approach and make it your own. Thank you for joining me today. You have the power to navigate every twist and turn with grace and strength. Go out there and practice, and let me know how it transforms your connections. You've got this!